Okay, update. Throttle is still shiny as hell. And on that note, I'm gonna say, hey guys, welcome back to the channel, another Swiss 001 video. And welcome back to Flight Simulator Fun with Swiss 001. Today I'm wearing my pilot's uniform.
On these lonely nights, I love you, baby. Trust in me when I say...
Again, I don't know. yeah, that's because we're back actually checking out an add-on for the new Microsoft Flight Simulator, which isn't really new anymore. I mean, it came out like 8 months ago already, so this is interesting. And today we're actually on board the kinda scandalous 737 MAX add-on that was released a few months ago for the Flight Simulator. I've made a video about this one already saying how bad it is. Genuinely, this plane is super highly criticized. A lot of people say it's actually a scam, one of the worst add-ons to ever come out for any flight simulator. So yeah, this was hated a lot before. I mean, really, this plane had a lot of hate. A lot of people, said this model was actually stolen. A lot of accusations legally towards the developer saying, again, this is a scam model, which honestly, I have zero idea of, alright? I'm not gonna do any false accusations, of course. I'm not gonna say, this Microsoft Flight Simulator add-on was kind of stolen from somewhere and then resold for 25 euro. I'm not quite sure about that, so I'm just gonna really talk about the plane itself, because that had a lot of issues. For example, before, the autopilot was highly criticized, a lot of things were not working, but you can see the ratings have gotten a lot better. We now have 4 stars here on the Sim Market store, so maybe we can check out this thing again. Maybe see if 2 months later, as you can see, this thing came out in February, 2 months later, some, things have gotten better. We don't know. I mean, there's a big changelog here. They're having now 3 updates, and it's maybe time to check out this flight simulator again. Now, what immediately comes to eye is, or to ear perhaps, is actually the new sound engine. Before the sound engine of the 737 MAX here sounded horrible, okay? I'm just gonna go as far as saying that, alright? The plane sounded horrible, very much unrealistic, but that's gotten a little better, right? Maybe we can have a little bit of a listen right here. This is not bad. Especially the clicking sound of the buttons do not sound bad. That's really not bad. Really, genuinely. I'm not, this is not too bad, really. This is great. No, I don't really have too much to complain about here with the sound. What is still, of course, a little weird, and this has gotten not fixed, is the shininess. Oh wow, we've got a V1 call out. That just kind of shook me right there. Yeah, overall, this plane is completely shiny. You can see the throttle is like weirdly reflected. I don't really get this. And also, yeah, this thing is also reflective. I'm not quite sure. All right, let's maybe check out how this plane flies, though. I think the... Guys. Why does this plane not take off? Did we just really use the whole runway for this one? Damn. Maybe I'm not quite sure about the realism of the physics engine right here, but maybe if I put the landing gear up, which still is a little tall. Can you see that? This is not how tall the 737 MAX nose landing gear normally is, right? We do have to say, this is actually a fun fact about the 737 MAX. The brand new 737 MAX that was grounded like 2 years now, and it's back actually in the skies. This plane actually does stand a little taller on ground. The landing gear is actually quite a bit taller than the old 737 models, because the engines, of course, are quite a bit larger, and so they need more clearing, more space between the ground, right? That actually makes sense, but I think the 737 MAX does not stand that tall. I mean, we do have to say, though, of course, though, the modeling of this plane, other than that, is perfect. We do have to say that, maybe that's because it's stolen from the internet. I mean, there's been some things said, but this is great. We can also see the beautiful chevron nozzles, which kind of looks like you cut the engines with one of those scissors you had in elementary school, or maybe preschool. You know what I'm talking about? I think you know what I'm talking about, right? The chevron nozzles. But yeah, from the outside, this is perfect, with the new 737 MAX winglets. But yeah, other than that, from the modeling itself, this plane has not changed at all, which still doesn't look good, and it does not at all look 25 euros good, if I'm being honest right here. Do I still think this plane is overpriced from the first impression of the model? Then maybe, yeah. What's now, of course, important is that most of the systems work. This one doesn't work. This one doesn't work. This one doesn't work. Okay, we do have to say this is, of course, very advanced here. Very advanced tech. This one doesn't work. This one doesn't work. This one doesn't work. This one actually does work. Does it? Yeah, it does actually work. That does switch. Okay, that switches as well, of course. Yeah, nothing too much has changed. Now, actually, a big problem about the last plane was also the autopilot. I'm just gonna say it this way, alright? It was a mess, alright? It was a mess. Did not work at all. Super bad, alright? Yeah. But it was actually updated apparently here. It says it here in the new very ugly changelog. I mean, genuinely, this is the worst ugly thing I've ever seen. Renewed autopilot system, that's good. And a lot of other changes as well. External Hublot lighted. Is that not a watch brand? By the way, a terrible watch brand. I don't really get this one right here. What they also remade was the flight model with very interesting grammar. Remake the flight model, and flight model is in caps. Great grammar. I mean, not that much better than my grammar, actually, in my videos. Flaps portents improved. Okay, interesting. I'm still not very much convinced by this plane. I mean, especially here in the world of flight simulation, we love to compare, right? We could love to compare this flight simulator from Microsoft Flight Simulator to the other big flight simulators like X-Plane. And if we compare this 737 to the 737 that's included into the flight simulator of X-Plane, then we have to say that one is, of course, a lot better, a lot more realistic. And, you know, we also have the Zibo 737 for X-Plane, which is free, a freeware plane that looks amazing, 4K graphics, and really just this thing doesn't even get close to those kind of qualities, which is something that, you know, kind of sucks, genuinely. All right, let me come in now for a landing right here. We're totally missing the runway. It's right over there, and for some reason my computer is like barely performing properly. You can see my frames per second are like at 23. Is that because of the 737 MAX? Normally this computer actually runs things quite well. I don't really get it now. All right, maybe come in now for a landing here. Maybe see if we can somewhat do this. I just want to check out how this plane lands here and how it compares to the other flight simulators, you know. I've flown the 737 in so many flight simulators now, and I have kind of like a judgment of what this plane should kind of feel like. Let's maybe see if we can get this one landed right here. There we go, coming in nicely. 50, okay. Nice GPWS callouts. That's nicely made, for sure. Maybe a little late. Oh, good landing, good landing. Let's now try to reverse thrust out of here. Alright, reverse thrust applied. We're now stopping properly. Okay, not bad. This plane, maybe from the physics, I cannot really tell too much bad things about this plane. Genuinely, this is not too bad. I'm not joking. Especially what was added as well was a lot of, you know, very much detailed stuff like ARS, the navigation buttons, because those actually did not work before. You had no navigation on this plane, which I think is a little sad. I don't know, this is not too bad. And something that's also been added was new liveries. Something that, you know, not many other flight simulator developers actually include, you know, liveries. But I can kind of expect that for 25 euros. I mean, genuinely. Okay, let's maybe visit some other places with the 737 MAX. Maybe try out some other liveries as well included. A lot of liveries like British Airways, Delta, airlines that don't even have the 737 MAX. So dumb. Yeah. Oh, we've got a US Air Force one. That's great. But we can say overall some pretty good improvement. I mean, people have not really been hitting on this plane too much anymore. The new ratings have been totally fine, actually. Here, Willem says as well, the new update makes it worth buying. I'm now happy. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's gotten a little bit realistic. We have to say that. I mean, comparing the new reviews to the old reviews before the update actually came out in February. Pedro, muito fraco, muito poca qualidad. I'm sorry. Why are you posting a Spanish comment on a English website? Let's maybe come to an actual conclusion about this plane, right? Do I recommend it now after the new updates? I mean, really, it's gotten better, especially the systems. They actually are working now. We do have to say that. Graphically, this has gotten not much better, especially the cockpit kind of sucks, honestly. I mean, the yoke doesn't even look like a 737 yoke at all. Like, genuinely, looks like a new design. It's just way too thin. It's just weird. It's boxy. It doesn't look like a 737 yoke, genuinely. I'm not joking. But what's gotten better is definitely the sounds and the autopilot, which makes this plane actually now usable, at least, as an airliner. You can fly it around now, which maybe for 25 euro could be considerable. I mean, you know, there's, you know, these accusations again of the developer not, you know, developing or modeling the exterior of this plane, which I mean, is not too bad either. I mean, it is looking good after all, and that's pretty much all I really care about at the end of the day. Maybe you guys know what I mean, you know? Sometimes it's all about the product and what I really get, you know, and rather than what actually went into it and, you know, what created it. The outside view, it looks okay. Cockpit sucks, but really the systems aren't too bad after all. It's gotten some improvements. Is it still a scam? You know, again, we're not going to talk about that exactly. Are there better add-ons now? Yes, the CRJ. Maybe you can make up your own mind about this plane. I think it's improved by quite a bit, but it still needs a lot of updating. Which, I mean, it's good that, you know, Bedrock or whoever the developer of this plane is, or Bread Rock, I'm sorry, is at least coming up with updates. I mean, that's gotta be appreciated as well for a scam add-on. I mean, I wouldn't do an update. I would just, leave it as that and, have paying cabs customers, because they're really not making money off of people just updating their planes. But yeah, I mean, maybe they're winning customers. But yeah, maybe this has gotten a little better. Yeah. All right, let's maybe come in now for a final landing. Let's maybe do a hard one. This is a 737. This is made for hard landings. Let's do one. Now, personally, I will probably be flying this plane around, especially in the live streams as well, most probably, that I'm hosting pretty much every single day, because I would just really like the 737, and, this more or less bad add-on will not stop me from doing that. All right, let's maybe just that landing. All right, let's come in. All right, so yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. And yeah, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. As always, good night.
Now, thank you to all my members here on YouTube like Block, Mubarak, Junk in the Trunk, Rafal, Oman the Human, DJ Straw, Deload, Tyler Park, Ian from Osk, Gurkham, Stefan Schmiedhofer, Moritz Wellhausen, Tuppy Cook, Great Karamba John, No to You, Larry Islama, Government Pasta, Calamity Airlines, Kelly Chaos, Philip Cherrier, Signs, Maz Kaleg, Rodolfo, New York, Ollie H, Blue Aviation, Cheese Doritos, Shadow.